Hey everybody, I'm Andy Smith. I'm a 30-year comic book veteran, having worked for Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Image Comics, Cross Generation, Ominous Press. You name it, I've probably worked for them. And I do other things art-wise outside of comics in the field of advertising. I've also written some books on drawing comics you might have seen. Drawing American manga superheroes, Drawing Dynamic Comics was my first book. And I also did the handy little How to Draw Superhero sketchbook where all you need is a pencil because you do all the work right inside the book. Enough about that. This is the Book Look series. The Book Look series is where I grab a book off my library. You can see the tons of books I have behind me. And I go through it page by page with you so you can see if it's a book that you might want to buy. I like to know what I want to buy before I buy it, and I feel this is a way to give you some insight into these books. So join me for today's book look. Thanks. Howdy everybody, this is Andy Smith with this week's book look, where I grab a book off my shelf and we go through it page by page. Some of these books I haven't looked at in years. This one in particular, probably since I moved in and set up this bookshelf 10 years ago. So let's dive into Look Out. It's Baby Boomer Comics, the wild, wacky, wonderful comic books of the 1960s. Groovy gorillas, classic drama, ludicrous clunkers, fab duds, amazing origins, Jerry Lewis, chicks in cape, superhero romance. Oh yeah, it's by Craig, Mr. Silver Age Shut. This book came out, including illustrations by Jim Mooney. So there you go. This book came out back in, let's see, 2003. Wow. So there you go. That's cool. Nice graphic design here. Nice and poppy like comic books should be. The Secret Origin of the Silver Age is Chapter 1. Chapter 2, Enter the Relationship. Chapter 3, If This Be My Gimmick. Sounds like early 90s, which I'm not complaining about. I love gimmick stuff from the 90s. I had a couple gimmick covers come out that I worked on. Chapter 4, Peril on the Planet of Pop Culture. Say that 3 times fast. Chapter 5, The Curious Case of Quirky Comics. And Chapter 6, Lo, There Shall Come an Ending. When Titans Thanked, Comic Buyer's Guide. A little introduction here, thanking people that helped them put this book together. A hearty welcome from Mr. Silver Age. I'm assuming this is Jim Mooney art right here, since he said that there's Jim Mooney art inside of it. Probably a quick little intro of, well, one, what's a baby boomer? And a baby boomer was anybody born between 46 and 64. I thought it was 63, but okay, 64. Guys, I'm not a boomer. So when you watch The Professionals, not a boomer. Why is it called the Silver Age? So when was the Golden Age? The Golden Age was taken by an earlier period of comics coolness when the late 50s and 60s were recognized as the second cool period of comics. Silver seemed the most appropriate name to follow gold, given its Olympic standing. The Golden Age began when Superman made his first appearance in Action Comics #1, June 1938. Let's see, I'm just kind of reading through, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. What's that seal on the upper right-hand corner? So it explains the comics code and how that came into existence. All the way back here, 1964, the code was right there. God, I love these. You know, as a kid, that would have done nothing for me. That cover, I would have been like, blah, it's bland. But I look at that now and I'm just like, wow, very nice A-type composition. If I was going to really get down on it, it's because the bottom of Superman's arm and the top of that guy's head meet, which is a bad tangent. Other than that, that's nitpicky, and I'm not here to be nitpicky because, damn it, nobody's perfect. Some say the Silver Age began with the showcase right here featuring the Flash. Little known fact, this Flash story was penciled by Carmine Infantino. No, that's not the little known fact. It was inked by Joe Kubert. That is. And then, of course, the introduction of Green Lantern right here. Showcase 22. Always, even though that's kind of a back shot, you don't even get to see the symbol on his chest. I still really dig that cover. Did it take long for the Silver Age to get going? It sure did. DC editors were striking out new directions to find something that worked, and they had to wait for sales results to come back to know if they were on the right track. As a result, The Flash was introduced in Showcase number 4, 1956, appeared in number 8 in mid-57, reappeared in 2 more issues in 58, and finally got his own title in 59. So, I mean, that is it. You do have to wait for the sales figures. And this is cool. When he got his own title, it was number 105. So it wasn't a number 1. It was picking up from the numbering from the original series that the Flash had in the Golden Age. So that's pretty cool. There's a facsimile out of this, I believe. I know there's one on this. I think it's out, or maybe it's coming out, but I'll definitely pick it up because it's technically, you know, Flash number 1 for that time period. This goes about some of the key creators. And of course, Marvel's like, hey, what's going on there over at DC? And jumped into the fray as well. And then it talks about their key creators, of course, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Don Heck, Roy Thomas, John Romita, John Buscema, Gene Colan. A little bit about Archie as well. Archie was around, of course, a lot longer than before 1959 when it started. So was, of course, Del, Golke, Harvey, Mad, so on and so forth. The Secret Origin of the Silver Age. This is Jim Mooney art right there. You know, as dated as that looks, I love classic costume designs like that. I just think they're fun. So this really lays the groundwork of when it started. Breaks down some key issues here. The institution of the Comics Code, with the seal first appearing in March 1955. So in 1955, they're like, that's it, guys. We got to approve everything. Blah. Just dumb. Here you go. Showcase Volume 1, Number 4. Cover art, Carmine Infantino and Joe Kubert. Mystery of the Human Thunderbolt, written by Bob Kanigher. Penciler Carmine, inker Joe. Then 10 cents, now $26,000. And we're talking in 2003. And then it's cool because it shows you the reprints as of 2003 that it's been, the books it's been reprinted in. So that's pretty cool. Trivia challenge, category girlfriends. Who was the girlfriend of Merboy? Mergirl? I don't know. I don't even know who Merboy is. That's how long it's been since I read this. Alfred died in Detective Comics 328, the second New Look issue. He got better in Detective Comics 356, but how did he die in the first place? Just the fact that he got better from death. I'd like to know how he did that. How do you get better from death? But that's cool. So he died in the second New Look issue, which was 328. So that means Detective Comics 327 is probably a pricey book. I mean, lots of them were back then. When Abensur needed someone to replace him as Green Lantern, why did he select Hal Jordan instead of Guy Gardner? Hal Jordan was more fearless. That's what I'm going with. I don't think it was Hal Jordan was closer. Hal was a test pilot, but that wasn't it. And it's definitely not because he was prettier. Redheads, man, always getting the bum rush. How did Alfred die? Gives you a nice long thing there. So what do we got here? Mr. Silver Age recommends Detective Comics 356. The inside story of the Outsider. Penciler Sheldon Moldoff. Inker Joe Giella. Back then, 12 cents. Now, 28. I'm willing to bet that's a little more than 28 bucks now. Just saying. Hal Jordan was closer. Look at that. Hal was closer. That's why Abin Sur picked him over Guy Gardner. I do have this key issue, number 59. Most of my issues of Green Lantern before 100 or before even Neil's run, starting with 76, Neil Adams' run, are mid-grade or less because these are pricey. Love this cover, Kurt Swan right here with Nightwing and Flamebird. Flamebird would probably have a different connotation now. Just saying. So this book's great. It's got a lot of trivia. Bob Hope. I actually own a couple issues of Bob Hope. Little known fact, Neil Adams drew a couple issues of Bob Hope. That's why I own them. Wonder Woman went through a period where she was not wearing a costume. Beautiful art by Mike Sikowski and Dick Giordano. These are beautiful issues here. Here we show where Pete Ross learned Superboy's true identity in Superboy number 90. So this book is really filled with a lot of fun questions and facts, legendary reprints. Here's where to find some of these stories in cheaper reprints. Gotham Gang lineup from Detective 328 was reprinted in 438. Not going to be super cheap. Now this is cool. Green Lantern 59 was reprinted in Green Lantern 184. I think I have Green Lantern 184. I'm going to have to check. This is really cool, though, to see where some of these books were reprinted. I mean, look, 179 for Wonder Woman, reprinted in 191. Still not a far jump, even though 191 is a reprint. Still maybe a little pricey. Brother Power the Geek. Talk about a weird book. Writer, penciler, inker, all Joe Simon. So this is cool. Then it gives you scoring on how well you did in answering these trivia questions. I probably would have fell into the pretty good, or I'm just making that up to sound like I know more than I actually do. Legends of the Marvel Silver Age, a pop quiz hot shot. What supervillain did our superheroic team battle in Fantastic Four #1? The Mole Man, and I don't even have to look at that cover to know that. I've seen this reprinted so many times. I know that. I probably know more of these answers. Where did Tony Stark create his Iron Man costume? At a small workshop in Southeast Asia. Bang, another one right. What triggered Bruce Banner's changes to the Hawk in the first issues? Nighttime. Who released Loki from his eons of imprisonment? Oh, I don't know that one, guys. After Showbiz didn't pan out, for what job did Spider-Man apply in Amazing Spider-Man 1? Daily Bugle photographer is my guess. Who was the first X-Men to kiss Jean Grey, the only female among their original teammates? Wow, I don't know that either. That is a great question for Dennis, my buddy, or Aaron Lopresti. A lot of these Marvel questions, I'm curious if how our buddies there on the professionals would do. Sounds like I might have a game night and all my questions are already worked out. Ho, ho, ho. Mole Man, I was right. Small Workshop, I was right. Nighttime, I was right. Fifth member of the Fantastic Four. That's right. See, I got that wrong. Heimdall, didn't know that. Hank McCoy making the moves on Jean Grey. Wow. And then here we go with some reprints to find these classic issues right here. Where was Captain America's shield when the Avengers found him frozen in ice? It was strapped to his chest. Even I knew that. I didn't see that question. I feel like I'm cheating because the answer was right there. Oh, this is cool too. I love seeing these homages to Fantastic Four #1. This one is really cool. This Fantastic Four issue 126. I bought this issue just because it is a retelling of their origin by Big John Buscema. Now, how many of these did John Byrne do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. John Byrne drew 5 of these out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He drew more than half of those homage covers. This is a book. Some of these books, kind of like Marvel already has done, where they had different artists draw each page to the book to retell the story. They did it with Giant Size X-Men #1. I would love to take an issue that I really love and just redraw the whole thing my way. When Titans Clashed, as a devout Marvel zombie, I really like the long-running series of stories entitled When Titans Clashed. Can you tell me which story was the very first to use that cherished name? Man, wow, I couldn't tell you that. But here we have one. Iron Man gold armor versus Iron Man and his yellow, or his gold and red armor. I didn't even know about that. That's cool. Iron Man fights a villain using his old gold costume and Tales of Suspense, 65. I need to look that up. I love Don Heck from that period. X-Men here, who drew this? Don Heck laid it out. Warner Roth penciled it. John Tartaglione inked it. And that was from X-Men 29. That's cool. Everything I need to know I learned from the Justice League. Are you kidding me? I could have just read the Justice League and skipped school. Well, damn it. Love this. Once again, as a kid, I wouldn't have given this a second look. But as an adult, a refined artist, if you will, having learned, I just really dig that. Mostly the faces. I mean, the bodies are weak. And I'm not critiquing the artist. I'm just saying for superheroes. And at the time, though, this was, top of the line art. But the faces is what made all these. And that is what's super important. Joe Kubert would always say, if you can draw faces and hands, you get a job, baby. A little more to it than that, but you know what I mean. Justice League, when it was penciled by Mike Sikowski and Bernard Sachs did the inking, beautiful stuff. Bernard's inking style just brought so much to life. Here's a panel from it right there. Still love that original Green Lantern costume. Wow. Superman, look at that S going from his collarbone, the point of it, down to his belt. More trivia and stuff, and just kind of breaking down each of these issues and what they're about. Still would like to own a Green Lantern #1. I have a reprint of it, but man, I would really like to own an actual #1. Look at this gorgeous face. Number 18, who drew this? Is that number 18 right there? Hold on. Justice League number 18 was Mike Sikowski. Bernard Sachs reprinted in number 93. Just love the expression on the face, the inking in the hair, those huge, thick eyebrows. I've never had eyebrows like that. I never will. It's funny, my eyebrows are very light, but if I were to shave them off, you'd look at me and go, that dude has no eyebrows, compared to looking at me now and going, that dude's eyebrows are very light. So, gorillas. There was a time, and look at these gorillas. Can you figure out which of our favorite heroes each of these simians got to make a monkey out of? Gorilla Boss, Titano, Grodd, Carmack, Monsieur Mala, Super 8, Priscilla, King Krypton, Gorilla Wonders, Makora, Bruna, Gorilla King. I can admit I've never heard of all those, but I have heard of a lot of them. Oh, man, check that out. Jim Mooney. That's cool. There are no bad costume designs. And what I mean by that is you might look at that and go, boo, that's lame. But I guarantee you, you take, I'll say me, my buddy Bart Sears, any of the professionals, Ethan, Malin, Shane Davis, any current pro could draw that exact costume in their style, and you'd look at it and be like, wow, that's badass. Dig this cover right here. Titano, Superman, number 158. It doesn't break down who drew the issue. Maybe on a following page it will. That looks like Kurt Swan. Oh, I guess it won't. More pop quiz stuff. Where did Peter Parker first meet Mary Jane? At Aunt May's house. I think. Wasn't it Aunt May's house? Oh my God. I'm probably going to get that wrong. Well, I guess we'll get to the answers. Oh man, Gene Colan. Beautiful right there. Mary Jane Watson comes out from behind the lampshade in Amazing Spider-Man 42. John Romita penciler, John Romita inker. Just beautiful. Reprinted in Marvel Tales 182. I might have to try and get Marvel Tales 182 because I don't own that original issue. And it would be expensive. 150 bucks. It's worth more than that now. John Romita Sr. just showing why he's a master at drawing regular people and beautiful women. Oh, wait. I missed the answer to the question. Anna Watson's house. Damn it, I got it wrong. Darn. I'm not even looking at this scoring. I'm probably so awful. Getting personal, DC Silver Age team-ups. Now we're talking, baby. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Flash and Green Lantern. Going way back right there. Gil Kane, inked by Joe Giella, is wonderful. Just wonderful. This is cool. So this reprints. So Green Lantern number 13 reprints in Flash 232. I don't need it. I have every Green Lantern showcase, those black and white books that DC put out. So that I do not need. That's why I don't really look for back issues of Green Lantern anymore unless it's really special, because I own, you know, all those showcases that reprint all the way up into Neil Adams issues and the Dick Giordano backup stories in the Flash. There you go. Green Lantern and Green Arrow 79. Comic art that really changed the way. Even though if you look at the Neil Adams issues of Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and then you go back and look at Gil Kane's work on Green Lantern, you can see Neil. Yes, Neil's an innovator, but he got a lot of his foreshortening, flying stuff. He just expanded on what Gil was doing at the time. Green Lantern 43 right here. Gil Kane also known for drawing the Atom. Now, this is cool. I didn't know this. The Atom number 7 was penciled by Murphy Anderson and inked by Gil Kane. That's cool. I did not know that. I want to hunt that down now just to see Gil inking somebody else. Wow. By the time I get through this book, I will have forgotten all this, of course, and won't be hunting anything down. Because this is definitely Murphy, it looks like, inking Gil. Or Sid Green. Superman and the Flash. Their first race, written by a very young Jim Shooter. Oh, I have this issue. This is one of my birthday books, I think. It's cover dated. Oh no, it's cover dated October. So it's not a birthday book. I just have it because it's cool. Penciler Kurt Swan, inker Joe Russo. It's more than 20 bucks now, but it's very cool. Here we go, Green Lantern and Green Lantern. That's right. I do own this issue too, Green Lantern number 40, when the Golden Age and Silver Age Green Lantern teamed up. Back then, 2003, 20 years ago, worth 340 bucks. I'm assuming those are all mint condition type. And I love it. Trivia at the bottom of every page. Zatanna, Magical Mystery Tour. Another beautiful Gil Kane here. To be able to buy these books off the rack, I mean, seriously, just, I wish. Thor and Sif sitting in a tree. making googly eyes at each other and kissing. 1, 2, 3. First comes love, then comes marriage. Then Thor says, that's it. I got too much time being a hero to do a baby carriage. I'm out of here, Sif. The whole death of Captain Stacy, Gwen Stacy's dad, right here. From number 90, Gil Kane pencils, John Romita inks. Beautiful work. This really does delve into a lot of these classic standout stories and where you can find them reprinted, which I think is great. And even these reprints would cost you some money. In fact, I was just looking at this one in Superman number 207, which is the 30th anniversary issue of Superman. This story was actually reprinted in it. Wow, I literally was looking at that last night. Let's see if it gives a shout out to that as a reprint. Here, there it is. Reprints appearance, Superman 207. Wayne Boring, Stan K. Love it. Wow. Bob Hope, beautiful artwork here. I really wish, it doesn't say, I wish in this caption it gave reference to who the artist was for this Bob Hope stuff. Look at this. He recommends Man of Steel number 6. This is very cool, very Frazetta. It's hard to see that cover, but I recommend this specific issue because Bogdanov really went and tried to do a good Frazetta riff throughout the book. More great Green Lantern stuff here. This is Gil Kane. Man, they never mentioned about that Bob Kane book. What the heck? That's a little shocking to me. They did a facsimile edition of this appearance of Batgirl. I did buy that, the first appearance of Batgirl. Going back in time, looking at these Batman issues here. I think that's Dick Sprang artwork. Once again, as a kid, I was like, ugh. As an adult, I think that's just so freaking cool. RIP SCPA. SCPA. Let's see if I found it. The Space Canine Patrol Agents. Oh, well, never heard of them. So I probably read this book 20 years ago and don't care. Herbie's Genetic Origin. We all remember Herbie. I mean, just hilarious. Look at him. Writer Shane O'Shea. Penciler Ogden Whitney. Never heard of him before. I got to be honest, never followed this Herbie stuff. Just didn't care. Patsy Walker, I was not familiar with when this book came out. Now, of course, I'm very familiar with Patsy Walker, who later became, she became Hellcat, if I'm correct. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not as familiar as I thought. Pop Quiz Hot Shot. Silver Age Hotspots. I probably wouldn't get any of these right. Maybe this Thor. Where's the Fantastic Four's planet-eating alien foe Galactus born? On Ta, I think? Zenlaw is where the Silver Surfer's from. It's not the negative zone, I don't think. And obviously, no, USA. No, it's not the USA. Let's see if I got it right. Ta! I got it right. Look at that. And that was a guess. That was just process of elimination right there. I'll have to look up, guys, and see what this book is worth or what it goes for these days. If I can find it, a link to where you can still buy it, I'll, of course, post it in the description for you guys. So this book, I've now realized, looking through it, that it very much is, it is history, but it is a lot of trivia, which I think is pretty cool. Here's a nicer shot of that splash page of Iron Man versus Iron Man when Titans clash. Tells you where you can get the reprints and stuff. You know, not that I want to give Marvel and DC any advice, but I still have a few friends that work at both companies. But I tell you, they could probably just start reprinting their books as facsimile editions every month. And who knows, their sales might actually go up. It would put a lot of people out of work, but what if they did a facsimile edition and in the back of it did a new 20-page story written from that time period, featuring the character in that feel. You know, brand new artist, of course, you know, drawing whatever, not mimicking the style of that period. But I think that would be really cool. You know, the one thing I like about looking at all these older issues that I'm doing now and buying is it's my general rule of thumb, which is the hero is in costume through the majority of the book, and in his civilian or alter ego non-costume identity for just a little bit of it. And once again, to me, that's how superhero books should be. Gotta love the shield helicarrier here, the classic original design. Jack Kirby, of course, Jim Steranko. This was from Marvel Spotlight 31. I just discovered this book, drawn by Howard Chaykin. Love the style. I just discovered this book through my buddy Drew Geraci's YouTube channel, and it basically talks about how Nick Fury stays young, and I never knew what it was that he had to take and such. So thank you, shout out Drew Geraci's YouTube channel, which I believe you can just search Drew Geraci. Wow, I gotta get through this book. We're ramped to a half hour. Karen Page, super detective. That's right, Karen Page, Daredevil's love interest and helper. Captain Adam's new look. I gotta admit, I dig this look where he was in the gold. I love the Steve Ditko stuff. I need to get the collection of this stuff. I'm hoping it says where it is collected so I don't have to look it up. I do like this look as well. And of course, I love the all chrome look. My buddy Bart Sears, I think, drew the best Captain Adam. I would love to have seen Bart draw him in this guise and this guise as well. Oh, Wasp. Some secondary characters. Now, I know people hated Doctor Strange when he went superhero with a mask and a skin-tight costume. Well, guys, I'm probably one of the few people that loved it because I'm a superhero guy and I thought it was super cool. I do own, I think I own that issue where he donned it. I'm gonna have to do a drawing of Doctor Strange in that costume. Abin Sur's Spaceship Conundrum. Love it. Mystery in Space. Classic. Beautiful. Love that. Jim Mooney. Meet the Beatles. Silver Age style. Mr. Silver Age, my favorite band from the 60s was the Beatles. Did they make a big splash in Silver Age comics? I think they they were featured in some, of course. Superman's Pal, 79. Cover artist George Klein, or Kurt Swan, George Klein. Penciler George Papp. Inker George Papp. The Red-Headed Beetle of 1000 BC. You can kind of see him. The cover is really small. Metal Men number 12. Bob Kanigher, Ross Andrew, Mike Esposito. Right here, this is from Metal Men number 12. You get the Beatles right there. So yes, they did make appearances in comics. Really cool. What is this one from? This is Titans number 11. I wonder if this is Titans number 11 as well. Those are great faces. Those are... Oh, here we go. Adventures of Jerry Lewis, 102. I don't think 102 was Neil Adams, and I have the 3 issues that Neil Adams drew, but those look Neil Adams-esque to me. Oh, wait, here we go. 102, penciler Bob Oxner. I always mess his name up. Oxner. Bob Oxner's fantastic artist. Just drew the most beautiful women. Could draw superheroes, funny stuff like Jerry Lewis. Just wonderful. Of course, I do remember this one here. This appearance right here, which the Oliver Twist, clue. Doesn't tell you what book it's from. That's not helpful. I'm sure it does somewhere in here, but we're doing a book look, not a book read. Mad Magazine. You know, Mad Magazine, I got Mad Magazine, I got turned onto it when I first saw the first Superman parody they did off the first Superman movie, which I think I still own. Talking about Spider-Man, movie stars showing up. This is great Steve Ditko artwork. This is great right here. What is this from? Those wacky bizarros made their version of a horror movie in Adventure 292. That is cool art. I wish it said who drew it. DC Movie Star. So this is Adventure 292 from 1962. I do not know who drew it, but I dig it. Dig it, yo. Sacre bleu! Jerry Lewis in the Justice League. That's right. Some of the main heroes did appear. This is from Jerry Lewis 105, where Superman meets him. 112, he meets the Flash, Bob Oxner. I think I need to get 105 because I love Jerry Lewis so much. That's right, guys. I said it. One of my favorite comedic actors is Jerry Lewis. I need to find out who drew 105. They talk about 112. Here's beautiful Bob Oxner artwork, but I want to know who drew 105. So I'm going to have to look that up. Neil Adams also pitched in sometimes, such as with pencils on 104. Of course, they don't show a picture from 104, but like I said, I own them because I'm a Neil Adams. I try to be a Neil Adams completist. I do the best I can. So Jerry Lewis 105, I'll have to look up. They just don't do comics like this anymore. Here we go, missing 206 issues of Tarzan. You're not. Tarzan, when DC picked it up with 207, by beautiful, wonderful, great Joe Kubert, writer and artist. Some of my favorite stuff here. They just carried over the numbering from Gold Key. So Gold Key and maybe Dell Gold Key series that preceded it ran up to issue 206, February 72. And April, they picked it up. You know what I should try and do? I should try to get Tarzan 206. Just to say I have the last issue of the Gold Key Dell run. That'd be cool, but I love this. Love Joe Kubert's work. If you know me, you know I love Joe's work. Just gorgeous. I know this is like Joe Jusko's favorite cover of all time. Oh, let's see. Is that 20? What numbers are those up there? Oh, well, why would they say? They don't. This was one of the first Tarzan's ever bought, 100-page issue. I love that cover where he's getting attacked by these certain type of monkeys. Don't know what type, but Joe just does great figure drawing. Just love that. Just wonderful. Whammo's Giant of a Comic. Holy crap, we were talking about this. I remember that. Wally Wood's Radiant Let-Off Whammo Giant Comics featuring the superheroes battle with the Steel Skull. Damn, Wally Wood, look at that. I wish this was reprinted somewhere. This is not a cheap book. Measuring 14 by 21 inches, nearly 4 times the size of a regular comic. It featured famous creators Wally Wood, Lou Fine, John Stanley, Virgil Patch. Nice. George of the Jungle. Super Team Up. We get into... Look at this. This book, once again, came out in 2003. This is the official movie adaptation of Spider-Man drawn by Alan Davis. So one of the best movie adaptations Marvel did, I must say. And then you've got Ultimate Spider-Man Chapter 1. I did buy this series. It was John Byrne, had to do it. I got to ink a few pages over Byrne of that stuff as well. This is cool. Superman 205. The Man Who Destroyed Krypton Al Plastino penciler and inker. And it's a beautiful Neil Adams cover. Superman 205. Going to have to look for that. Just great stuff here. 80-page giant, number 1. Beware the Future Men of 2000. I bought this just because it's number 300. I love those round number issues, but it's also Superman in 2001. What would it be like? I don't own 2001: A Space Odyssey. I know Machine Man appeared in it, but... And we're getting to the end of the book here. Missed it by that much. Twice Told Tales. So yeah, so we're getting there. Then it just has, this is Superman's Flight from Lois. Lois Lane number 20 is a rewrite of Superman's Other Life from Superman 84. So this is pretty cool. Twice Told Superman Tales and what it was. So like Voyage to Dimension X, Superman 271 reuses the plot from Superman 83. And I would have no idea of any of that. So I kind of need to do a deeper dive into this stuff. That is pretty cool. Some of it expands the story. So that's really cool. And it's mostly Superman stuff. The Mopey Awards. Don't be mopey. Oh, beautiful. Fantastic Four 88. Oh yeah, look at this. Jack Kirby even makes a mistake. Man draws that fast. The hand is on the wrong arm. Oopsie. But he is Mr. Fantastic, so maybe he can do that. Great splash page. Love the big title right there. So this is mistakes and stuff. That's cool. Flash Deja Vu. And there shall come an ending. The sob. End of the Silver Age. Wah, wah, wah. So these were basically the books that ended the Silver Age. This issue of Superman, which I do own, January 71, number 233. And June 73. Spider-Man 121, I guess. That's what they're saying. Who Will Die? Golden Age Goodbye. This is a beautiful book right here. Before they revamped Superman and Byrne took over. Nice little price guide here. These prices are probably way out of date. Let me see what they've got going for X-Men, because that's the one that I always can kind of say. So right here, it even only goes up to issue 70. So maybe that's when the Silver Age ended. But number 1, 6,500, that's a little off, I'd say. So, a little off. And there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick, not quick, but in-depth, not quite in-depth, book look. Look out, it's Baby Boomer Comics, the wild, wacky, wonderful comic books of the 1960s. Thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share. You hit that thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. So do comments. Leave me a comment. Check out Kor-Drath, The Reckoning on Indiegogo. You can still get it. You'll want it. You'll love it. I guarantee it. That's all I want to say about it. Check out this trailer. I'll catch you guys next week with another book look. Bye-bye.